This week, Inside the Galaxy. Before we preview Saturday's match in Kansas City, we travel across the pond with the Galaxy Youth Academy. At the beginning of April, the Galaxy Academy under 16s and 18s went on a 10-day tour of England, playing 4 matches and attending 2 more. I caught up with Academy Director Trevor James to learn how this trip came to fruition.
Well, the trip came together right from the start of when we put the academies together. It was a plan to go on a trip within 2 years and to visit other academies within Europe. So that's how it first came about, and it's obviously been taking a year or so to put together. So, everybody was excited. Obviously, it came off the back of Landon doing so well there, and obviously been training there for a couple of months, and so it was very fresh in their minds. A lot of the boys had seen Landon play in his Everton spell, so obviously everyone was very excited, and obviously it was a great experience for them. At Everton, the coaches did 2 different things. The under 18 group concentrated on counter-attacking and how to transition from defence to attack very quickly. The under 16 group done a more technical session, and it was geared to be what they would spend more time with at those ages.
On top of training at Everton's beautiful facilities, the Academy kids were invited to attend the Everton-West Ham game at Goodison Park.
Again, a great experience because obviously the boys were in their Galaxy tracksuits and polos, and obviously were very noticeable to the Everton fans. And there was a number of people came to them and wanted photographs with them, and basically said, when is Landon coming back? But it was a good experience because they felt part of it. After Everton, we moved on to Blackburn, and obviously to play our first competitive game. So they had a full day at Everton, and then had to prepare to go into a competition game at Blackburn on the Monday.
Having traveled for 3 days straight without much rest, Blackburn proved to be too much for the 2 academy sides, as both teams saw lopsided defeats. With valuable lessons learned, it was on to Manchester City.
Obviously, after the Blackburn game, we then moved on to a full day at Manchester City of 2 training sessions. And again, I think the game at Blackburn, as I said, sort of gave the boys a bit of a wake-up call, and their focus and concentration was far better at Manchester City for both the morning and the afternoon sessions. I think having the names of the coaches, like Scott Sellers and Paul Power to actually spend time with them, I think it got their attention. And as I said, there was a lot of information given to the players, which was priceless information, to be honest, and it also helped the coaches. The coaches obviously were on the field with the in the sessions, so and I know they were very impressed with the information they got from it. The response was fantastic because we went into the 2 sessions, which again, this is our third or 4th day there, and they've done a lot of travelling, and they were obviously trying to get acclimatized and so on. So the response was great. Both age groups, both sessions were first class. So it was a great advert for us as a club that the boys were as committed as they were. I think moving on from the Blackburn and then the training at Manchester City to prepare for the game the following day against Manchester City, I think was great. And I think what we learnt from was the commitment. We saw how committed that you had to be to play these games. We learnt that very quickly. As I said, we mixed the age groups a little bit. It was a mixed age. We had an opportunity to play some of our younger players with the older players. And again, it was a great response. The boys realised how hard they had to work to compete, and they seemed to put that right in that game. From academy point of view, it's just a positive all round. The fact that we go there and the players can see what it takes to compete and have an opportunity to compete at the top levels in those academies. For the coaches to see how much organisation, how much coaching is involved to develop players that can only be good for us as coaches. The club and the coaches have got great connections with those clubs now, so that'll stand the club in good stead in the future, and I'm sure there'll be other things that we will do with the clubs that we visited.
The Galaxy head to Kansas City this Saturday to face the Wizards on yet another tight pitch. I asked Donovan Ricketts if his big leg will help aid in the team's attack.
Hopefully, because sometimes when I play on a shorter field, I try to change my kicking up, so I know I can kick it far and I don't want to kick it too far. So hopefully tomorrow I can aid in the attack. Yeah, it's a bit different because normally on a bigger pitch you tend to push more to the 18 on this field. Halfway line is like a 60-yard or 30-yard shot on this field, so I have to concentrate and not push up too much, and to be aware of my position.
It's going to be physical. It's a small field, and they're a good team, and they know how to play. So we expect a compact game, and it's going to be physical.
Yeah, Kansas City are a much better team than the last few years. They've done a good job organizing themselves defensively. They're very good. They were unlucky last week not to get a point in Seattle. And we know that when we come to town, they're going to be ready for it. They've won 2 games at home, haven't allowed a goal, so we got our work cut out for us. But we're excited about the challenge. It'll be good.
This has been Troy Barty for LAGalaxy.com. Thanks for watching This Week Inside the Galaxy.